Scott's Melvin Newbern won several awards in high school. A McDonald's All-American, he led the Bulldogs to a City League title, averaging 17 points before continuing his basketball career in college and the pros. A recent inductee into the African American Legacy Project Sports Hall of Fame, Newbern, who lives in Minnesota, remains connected to the game as a youth coach. Our conversation picks up with defense, as the former Golden Gopher still holds the Big Ten record for steals in a season with 101 in 1988 to 89.
Part of your game was defense. You're great at stealing. How is that a mental thing to play tough defensively? Is that athletic? Is it a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both, but it's a mental thing. I know for me, one of the things I pride myself on playing great defense and just learning the guy that I'm guarding, his tendencies. I mean, how he likes to dribble the ball, the rhythm, get into I wanted to be on the same rhythm as him, so whenever I was able to make a steal or do any of that, I was in sync with him. And that may sound weird or funny, but when you're playing defense, you kind of want to be in sync of what your offensive player is doing. So, and I just love playing defense. I love the physicality of it, and I just love getting after it and just playing good, hard-nosed defense.
You mentioned your forte was defense. You played for the Detroit Pistons. If you're going to play for the Pistons in that area, you had to play tough defense.
Yeah, back then you had to play hard-nosed defense. I mean, I think Detroit, that's what they hang their hat on. It's hard work, and they love players that come in that can play hard-nosed defense. And I think I fit well at that time in that system and what they were trying to do and what they were trying to accomplish.
When you look back on your athletic career, what are some of the highlights? What are some of the lowlights?
Well, the highlights was winning city championships in high school. One of the lowlights in high school was not making it, getting to the state and not winning it, both my junior and senior year. In college, going as far as the Sweet 16 in the Elite Eight and not winning it. So I was one game from going to the Final Four in the Elite Eight. So I had 2 good years, my junior and senior year, 2 good runs as going in the NCAA tournament.
What did you learn from those lowlights that helped you move on?
That to prepare myself or to work harder. If nothing else, it taught me to get back in the gym and work harder, to improve and work on my weaknesses, and then work on my strengths to keep those sharp. So I think that's what it proved most of all.
You mentioned not winning that state title for Scott. A couple years after you graduated, they did win that state title. How proud were you for Coach Williams and the other Bulldogs that they did finally get that championship?
I was very proud because that year was the same year we made it to the Elite Eight. So as we were winning, they were winning. So then when we ended up losing, it was a tough loss for us, but I knew that they were still in that tournament run. So I was happy for them when they won it, because they brought back, they won something that they can say nobody has done in Scott history.
Your son has followed in your footsteps and has played college basketball as well. Who's the better player, you or Melvin Jr.?
I'm gonna always say me, but I think I got 4 sons that have played basketball. So I got one now that's going to college, going to a D2 school, and then my youngest, he was a basketball player and football player, but he's going to D2 for football. And then my daughter, she was a basketball player, but she loves softball, so they all was in the athletics. And then my second oldest, Bijan, he tore ACL, so he stopped playing. That kind of deterred him from playing, but he still loves the game, so he's refereeing and stuff and doing a great job doing that.
What is it about basketball that has become so important for you and your family that it's become a lot of what you guys do?
I think sports in general. I think it teaches you not just basketball. I think just sports in general. You have to interact with other people. So your interaction would determine what somebody else is doing or not doing. How you get your point and views across would determine how your fellow teammate takes to you or like you or dislike you. So I think playing sports from that aspect just allows you different avenues in life.
Finally, what does it mean to you and your family to be honored as one of the legends of Northwest Ohio sports?
It's a great feeling because those days I walked through the halls of Sky High School, many before me have done great things and accomplished great things and has been in this situation here. And I'm just grateful that I'm just another niche in the knot, or so to say, to follow in their footsteps.